Hi, everybody. Welcome to our channel.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, it's a little different this time.
Yeah, we're not dogs anymore.
We were never dogs,
Yeah.
but we had to put them to work.
We had to.
Yes, we had to put them to work. We weren't feeling too well, but we're a little better today. And so we want to welcome everybody to the channel. If you're new, welcome.
Yes.
If you have been here before, we're very happy to have you back.
Very.
Mm-hmm. Today is another kind of a different video. We did not expect to have this doll.
Absolutely not.
If you watched video on our little doll trip, you saw what is she? She's
a horseman.
She's a horseman doll, and you overlooked her.
I did. I just said.
She did. But when I went back into the film, I saw a doll that I fell in love with, which you'll see in a minute. And then you said, well, gee, maybe I better check her out.
Maybe I just should check her out, since we had to go back, not all the way to the end of the trip, but we had to go quite a ways to this place, the first place we stopped.
Right. Well, we went back, which we rarely do, and we came home with two dolls. And this is one that actually needed some help. She's a horseman. She's a baby doll. She's a big girl.
Yes.
But
I think she's rare.
I don't know. I mean, she is an enigma. She, I swear, is a baby Pippi Longstocking.
We think she is, and we've done all the research. We can't prove it. I think when you see her face, she's got all those freckles and she's got the pigtails. And when I first saw her, all that was pinned back behind her head. I thought it was a boy doll.
So did I. I thought she was a boy. But in any case, she will be a baby Pippi Longstocking when we're done. So I think we should get to it. You ready?
Oh, I can't wait. Actually, she's been here for a while now, and I've fallen in love with her.
Yeah. Well, maybe you will too. So you ready? Here we go.
Hi, everyone. I'm a horseman, but I really don't know what else I am.
Well, we know she's 1971.
Okay, I know my age.
Well, before we get to this little girl, actually, how we got her is a bit of a funny story, because if you watched our video on the scenery in New England and our little doll trip, hope everybody enjoyed that one. Well, if you saw that one, you actually saw this little girl at the second shop that we went to. And here's a horseman from 1975.
Her hair,
I showed her.
Her hair was like this.
Yep, I showed her to my mom, and
I didn't even see the hair.
She just sort of looked at her and kept going.
Yeah. But
when I was doing the editing of that video, guess what? She saw her. And a funny thing happened to me. Well, in a similar way, while I was editing the film, I saw this little girl. And I didn't see her when we were at the store. I actually was surprised when I looked at the footage and I saw what she was adorable, and I can't believe I missed her. Well, that's because I was focusing on getting the best film footage for everybody and finding a doll that needed help. And I wasn't shopping for myself.
No.
But I saw her in the video, and we called the store, because actually that video was a few weeks ago. She was still there.
Yes, and look at, she's got bendable legs.
She does. She's adorable. She's a Madame Alexander. She's a little skater, which is definitely apropos for where we live.
It says Jingle Bell Skater.
Yep. And we went back and we got her.
2002.
We got this lovely little horseman.
So since Shantae was going back because of the other doll, I looked for her to see what she really was. And
she wasn't where she was supposed to be.
No, she was somewhere else. A little kid probably picked up, and I found her on the floor in the back. And so I decided, and then I turned around and went, oh my gosh, she's got hair. And And so
we're not sure what she is.
But we have an idea.
We have a hypothesis.
It's a hypothesis, yes.
Because she's got the red hair, and she's got the braids, and she's got these.
You can see that it was
meant to be braids.
Meant to be braids. Do you see that?
Well, we're thinking, but we can't find it yet. We're thinking that perhaps you see those little dots all over her face. She's got freckles.
Right.
I'm thinking she might be some sort of a baby Pippi Longstocking. But we won't know until we do some more research.
Oh, show her body.
Mm-hmm. She is vinyl.
She is stuffed.
Mm-hmm. And she has a little hole in her mouth to take a bottle.
You can see that she doesn't have any joints.
She's not drinking wet, is she?
I haven't got that far yet. Uh-oh.
Is she drinking wet? You're kidding.
That isn't there because somebody put it there.
She's a drinking wet. Well, that's more information we had a minute ago.
So to clean her body, I could use it on her face. It's a different kind of vinyl. But to clean her body, I'm using this hand clean with aloe and lanolin. Some people use goo.
This one's by Permatex, and we use it because it doesn't have much of an odor.
And it's less toxic to us. We have allergies, but it does have aloe and it contains lanolin.
And it's worked pretty well for us.
It works really, really well. So my sister-in-law worked in a hardware, and she said this was the best hand cleaner they sold. So I tried that. I've gone over her a little bit already. And here's parts that I haven't gone over. And she was dirty because the cloth is dirty. Even though you might not be able to see the dirt. If your cloth comes out dirty, you know that the doll was dirty. And so I'm treating her with this hand cleaner as well as cleaning her. I take this Mr. Clean that is relatively white, and we're just going to stroke her.
Oh dear.
A little bit. She's dirty.
So I think we're going to clean her with the Mr. Clean, and then we might put a little of this hand cleaner on her.
Oh yeah.
To condition her vinyl, because it is different vinyl, but the Mr. Clean can do a really good job on this particular vinyl.
Yes, it is. And I'll probably use that other on areas I don't want to take the chance of taking.
Like her eyebrows, her little freckles.
Yes, we don't
want to take any of those off.
Somebody didn't wipe her face after they fed her.
Well, she got her bath, and so she is as clean as we're going to be able to get her. And you already started on her hair.
Yes, this side has been complete. I'm leaving it the way it is.
That's quite a difference.
With the net and her braid. And I separated, a lot of this was incorporated into across the part. So all this is, I don't know if you can see that or not, but this is all got to be detangled.
So
and
what
you
she
can
did,
see how bad this is.
But what she did was, because she has these two braids, and because this hair was particularly difficult to deal with, she decided to do it in two parts. That's why she has one half done and one half we're going to show you.
Yes.
But she has the net on the other side because she does not want what she's already done to become
a problem.
Yeah, to become tangled. And
I don't want to.
She doesn't want to undo all of the work
all over again. I don't want to do it all over again. It was so difficult to do this that that is nice, and I want to leave it nice.
Right. Okay.
I've picked out her bangs, and you can see you still can't run a comb through them, even though they're picked out, because that is nothing but damaged hair. So if anybody wants to know what damaged hair looks like, it's completely damaged right to the scalp. But we're going to see what we can do.
Why don't you tell everybody, first of all, what you used to start going through her hair? Because this might be their very first video.
I have a chain on it so I don't lose my needle.
It's a very big needle.
It's a very big needle. And it has a little curve on it, and it's pointed.
And if you've seen some of our videos, you've definitely seen this implement before.
Right. And so I go through, and yeah, you start with the ends sometimes, and sometimes it all depends. I'll use fingers to try and get through, and then I'll use my pick. I mean, I use a lot of things. And then you'll come into a mess like this. Can you see that big mess? So I'll work with my fingers and try to see what I can salvage. See, I was able to pull away something. But that is not salvageable. Where's my clip? You see that knot, folks? Can you see the knot? Okay. Waste of time. It's not going to change anything in the doll.
So that's a last resort.
That's a last resort.
If you have got, and especially
so you see now
with fiber like this, that doesn't always happen with other ceramics.
No. See, no, this is different. And you can see it's like a web. And it's all interactive. And you might bring your finger underneath and you try and get through that web, and you gently separate with your fingers. And sometimes I have to use my little trusty needle. But at this point, it's so that would be after I try to make it so I can use the needle. I try to separate it bit by bit. That's extremely damaged. Do you see that? Extremely damaged. When you're going through and it's so damaged, she's got so much hair. This little lady, I went through this. Let go, please. I went through this, okay?
That has already been done.
This has been done.
Right?
And all this right here is damaged. And we're going to try to make it so it isn't damaged.
Right. So that everybody understands what you're doing, you use the pick, you use your fingers first, and you use the pick, and then you will hopefully be able to get to the point where you use a particular comb. Show us their comb.
Oh, two different kinds of combs. I have a wide and a small tined comb. And
these are metal combs.
Yes. And so I might use this one just to get a hold of this mess. I'll try to pull, but it's not going to go. And so I have learned that you pick your wars, your battles. So
that was a long time.
It was arduous.
Can't
you tell? You just put me through hell.
Well, it took a lot of patience.
It took a lot of hard work.
Well, yes, but in order to do all that hard work, it took a lot of patience.
Okay, if you say that was patience, maybe I was just dogged, Don't
give up. No. We're not stubborn.
We're not stubborn.
We're determined.
Determined. It took being determined, because I got to tell you, I wanted to quit. And I don't know if all you people can see the vast amount of hair this young lady has.
Well, of course they can.
And this is only on one side. And you can see that this is total damage.
Yeah, so let's see. We see the damaged part. Now let's see the side that you have finished that's been ironed and cleaned and everything.
So let's look at it from the top. So this is the shiny, nice results of many hours.
Believe me, everybody, this side once looked
like
that side.
And so what I'm going to do is wash it, and then I'm going to...
She's going to soak it in laundry softener
for quite a while.
Well, here we are. We are ironing her hair, and it is definitely a challenge. First of all, for those of you who have never seen one of our videos, this is a curling iron that has a temperature gauge, which is essential if you are going to do this technique. And you want to keep the temperature at 160, no higher. And when you are doing the ironing, you want to make sure that the hair is very, very wet. And flat. And definitely flat. And this has been the struggle.
Do you see this? This is a washed hair. And you can see that earlier that I had picked it out. Well, you can see it's not picked out anymore.
But well, it is. It just keeps wanting to go back to what it was.
That's right. It wants to go back to damage. And this is extremely damaged hair. And so then I go from one tool to another, and I try to make it straight, because if you put iron on this piece, which I'm not going to, I'm working on this piece. If you put the iron on it and it's not completely allowing you to go through it, let's try a comb again, which goes over and over and over and over and over and over. See, I run into resistance, so then I just try to get the comb to go through. That is the only time that you can iron it.
She's just sliding the iron over it. She's not ironing as if you're going to try to get a curl. She's just almost using it like a flat iron. And that little sizzle you heard is just the iron, the heat hitting the water. It has nothing to do with the fiber.
No, the reason I'm using the smaller tine is because I want these small fibers to be straight, because that's the only way I can heal what healing I can, or repair I can get from them, is if they are straight.
And this is not a 1 or 2 or 3 pass process with the iron. With this particular, it can be with some doll wigs.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yes.
It can be 1 or 2 passes. But with this particular wig, it's so damaged that she has to go over it and over it and over it. And let's see the piece that you were able to get.
These are 2 pieces that I've done.
And that was a lot of work.
And I went over the pieces at least 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
Then you run the small tine through it to try and keep those, now that it's really wet, and you wet it some more. And you try to straighten the damage. Do you see how the damage is beginning to straighten? Can you see that?
Mm-hmm. And she's going to go over it several more times, and she's going to do this on the rest of the wig. And then it will be ready for
to look like that.
To fight with it to get it into a braid. So I guess that'll be the next thing. I'm not going to tell you how long it took me to braid that one little braid.
Which one was it?
Well, take your pick, but I'm talking about, that one. We won't go into it. Anyway, it looks good. Let's see her bangs. Well, they look good too. What do you think, Evie?
I think they look better.
What do you think?
I don't know about good.
What do you think? What do you think? Huh? What do you think?
She's not interested.
Not interested? You're not interested in Pippi?
No, not unless Pippi's got something to give her. She's got nothing to give me. Is there a chip in her hand? Is there a carrot?
Okay. So now that Pippi's got her hair done, she needs some clothes. Don't you think?
Definitely.
So what we've decided to do is I am going to make her an outfit. You think I can do it?
I know you can do it because you did it with the surprise doll for my birthday.
Ah.
And that was from scratch with no pattern.
I have a feeling it's going to be the same idea, is from scratch with no pattern.
Yes.
Because Pippi is a big girl. And we don't, Evie. That's called photobombing, sweetheart.
You're photobombing her. You know what that means? You're stealing the show.
You little scene stealer.
Yes, that's what she's doing. Hey,
Okay.
This is her time, not yours.
Okay, so I'm going to show you how I am going to attempt to make this little girl some clothes. So, because I don't have a pattern for this size little doll, well, big doll, we decided to use a real baby dress. It's vintage, is it? Or not?
I wouldn't know.
I don't know.
I think anything past my children's age are vintage.
Anyway, so this dress has an underdress and it has an overdress, and it looked to me when we put it up to Pippi that this overdress could be modified to fit Pippi. But see how it has the scallops? We're not going to put the scallops in.
No, you just ignore them.
Yep, ignore them. So anyway, here we go. So what I did is I turned the dress topper or overdress inside out, and I laid it out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace around. I'm going to make sure that that I'm tracing here, not here. I want to have it like this. Same here. It's going to be traced here.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be the front part of my dress. And I'll add as much as I want. And since this is going to be big on Pippi, I'm not putting on any seam allowance. But if I were doing this for another doll and I knew that the dress already fit the doll, I would add a seam allowance of, whatever you want to do.
Whatever you're used to.
Right. So that is for the front. For the back, I will do the same thing, only I will only be using this panel.
Yes, but you'll be using...
I'll be using that hole, and actually I'm going to lay it out backwards. So that will be underneath. But anyway, here, this is going to be an overdress. We're going to try to match an outfit that was on an original Horsman Pippi Longstocking doll, although it is
little
girl doll. It's not the same as this doll. This doll's a bit of a mystery to us,
but
I'm going to try and match her. So this is going to be her overdress, and this is the fabric I'm going to use. And then I'm also going to use the same pattern. I'm going to augment the pattern to fit a little bit differently. As you can see, it isn't going to be as wide. And that will be her underdress. And her underdress is going to be made out of this. And you know what? I saw in the picture that she had a red pocket on the front of her dress.
On the front of her dress. Yes, we're copying it from eBay.
No,
it wasn't.
It's just a picture. It's a picture.
Doll reference or something?
It's just a picture that I found on the internet of one of these original Horsman dolls. And it has Pippi embroidered on this little pocket.
Red pocket.
So I think I'm going to hand embroider her name on it. And then I think
do you have the red fabric?
I do. It's right here. Oh, no, I don't.
Yes,
yeah,
you do. There it is. I see
right
it.
there. Anyway, okay, and then I think I'm going to leave her Pippi Longstockings to you.
Oh, me. I'm going to make her socks?
Her Pippi Longstockings.
Oh, okay.
Her long sock. Well, maybe they're going to be short stockings.
I would say since she's a baby, they should be short.
Okay. So I'm not going to show all that. We're just going. I just wanted to show you how I can get a pattern without having a pattern. Well, that was a humongous difference.
It's a big difference, but her hair was the hardest hair I've ever worked with in my whole life.
And look, she is completely Pippi Well, not long stocking. She got little short stockings.
Well, that's because she's a baby.
That's right. But they're both, yeah, she's got her red and her green. I know it might look a little blue, but it's actually a dark green. And I know I told everybody that I made the outfit, but I did. And let's look at her. Let's look at the back of her hair.
As I worked on it, I worked on one side at a time because it took so many hours to do one side that I had to take a 2-week break.
I know. And I think we've already told them that. And also, that's one of the reasons it took us so long to get this particular video out to everybody is she took a lot of work to get her to this conclusion.
Right.
And yeah, I hand embroidered her name. And as you can see in the picture right here, I tried to make her as closely to the Horsman doll that everybody recognizes. Everybody is right, that everybody might be familiar with. Of course, as we've told you, we have no idea who this little girl actually is. She was not dressed like this, if you remember, but because of these freckles and her adorable little red-headed braids, she just has to be Pippi Longstocking.
They made a movie in 1969. It was a Swedish East German film.
Mm-hmm.
And then Horsman made a little girl Pippi Longstocking doll
in 1972, I believe.
In 1972. We don't know.
This little girl was made in 1971. Did it have anything to do with that movie? We have absolutely no idea. But we know that Horsman made a Pippi Longstocking little girl doll.
She was dressed similarly to this.
That's why, like I said, that's why we did it this way. Anyway, so to move on, Pippi had some friends. I think we ought to see her friends. So at least in the movie, she had a monkey. He works.
Yeah.
And she had a horse. There's only one problem with our horse.
Well, we didn't have a white horse.
No, we didn't have a white horse. But we had a black horse. And we put some white polka dots because the white horse had black polka dots. And you know what, everybody? Arabian foals, they start off dark.
Yes.
And they end up white.
And they turn white.
So you know what I think? I think
this is a baby. It's a baby.
And he is going to turn out white with black
spots when he grows up.
Yep.
As Pippi, as this little Pippi, when she grows up, she'll be Pippi Longstocking.
Right. Her stockings are going to grow, just like her. If anybody recognizes this little girl, because remember, she's a drinking wet doll from Horsman from 1971.
I think she's 20 inches tall. But
if anybody recognizes her, please let us know in the comments. We'd really love to know what she originally looked like.
Yes, she has all of her Horsman markings, but she has a couple of markings that other Pippi Longstockings or other Horsman dolls don't have.
Okay, but we want to get to the saying that we really hope you enjoyed the video.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to welcome everybody who's new. We want to say we absolutely love having everybody who keeps coming back. We hope that you are enjoying these kind of different little videos. If you'd like to like, we'd love it. If you'd love to subscribe, we absolutely would love to have you. And what do you want to say this week?
Wow, that's a lot to say this week. Her hair was hard, and you have to be.
It's not what I meant.
I know.
Come on.
I gotta say it.
You can do it.
Okay. Just remember, it is possible to do it yourself.
I had to tell myself that over
and over. To finish her, we both had to have determination.
With her dress, with her hair. But she's lovely.
She's absolutely lovely. It was worth all the time. But you can do it yourself.
You can. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.